Welcome back, everyone, to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome just west of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Currently, the Eagles have possession as we resume the action in quarter number 2. Throwing on first is Wentz. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Toss it to Ajayi. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Room to run past midfield. Complete to Gilmore over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
3-19. 3-19.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he fires one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Wentz on third down. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Wentz now to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Ajayi. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for a loss of 5. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on, a big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely Did not take that one and made it 4th down.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go. Blue Lightning.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. And a grab here by Gilmore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
He was looking there for Bruce Ellington. That'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, do a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Back to throw again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense so far on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Green
They're going to look to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the 1st half. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA halftime report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Saints trail at home at halftime. The Eagles will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to New Orleans for the start of the 2nd half.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this 2nd half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Rolling now is Wentz. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On play action, it's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. Give him 30 yards there.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, receiver won in a big way.
They run with Ajayi. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down.
Here we go now!
He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
the gun now on third down. And he's got Snead. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Saints on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. They run for it with Ajayi. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. So certainly an interesting go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Now back to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, It's a 50-50 proposition at best.
And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now a play fake. Wentz escaping the pressure right. And he rifles one incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Right side catch, Gilmore. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Wentz going to try and throw on third. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That one goes for 24 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Caught right side, it's Snead. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They'll set up to throw. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You're running against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Let's go! Green 39! Green!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a...
And he's got it! Touchdown, Saints! Crockett Gilmore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. Oh, he shifts past him. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he's got Booker. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now the screen only good for 3 that time, but it'll bring up a 4th down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Jay Ajayi stops short of the first. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
And he comes back with one complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he? No. Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And Parkey's kick is good. And that will bring the deficit back down to 3. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal, and if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As a general rule, when you take a deep shot downfield, it's usually a timing pattern. Quarterback in the pocket and looking to hit his receiver downfield. But when he has to move outside of it, timing off and gets thrown off. And on that play, that caused the incompletion.
And this is taken at the 23. 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on first and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Snead. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. And out come the Eagles. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
23 yards on the play.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So that'll back them up 5. And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
They'll look to throw here. Time for a break. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. Snead's got it. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Complete to Gilmore, the tight end. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Back to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Throwing is Wentz. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, finding some room at midfield, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback, because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.